What's up, you fantastic, wonderful people? Today I want to talk about bad casting. I feel bad casting has sort of garnered the same reputation as a word like literally. People throw this around all the time and don't know what it means. Specifically, the people in the Instagram comment section, they throw around, oh, that's a horrible choice for casting, or oh, why did you cast X person when Y person's right there? Oh, I know I haven't seen so much as a story trailer or any sort of plot synopsis for this movie to make an informed decision on casting, but this is still the worst choice ever made. I don't hear that last one much verbatim, but that's kind of how they all sound. Time and time again, we see people come together to hate on an actor or actress just getting work. They yell, they scream, they let people know their hatred. That's a horrible choice for Iron Man. Why would you cast Robert Downey Jr.? Tom Cruise is right there. Hugh Jackman for Wolverine, he's way too tall. Heath Ledger for Joker? Are you serious? And now we're looking back and it's like a completely different story. It's, oh my god, no one could have played Iron Man better than Robert Downey Jr. He was born to play that role. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. Heath Ledger has set the bar like the Ford F-150 for the Jokers to come. It's a tale as old as time, but I just don't understand why people can't hold off the rage and the building anger inside them when a casting decision's announced until they've at least seen the movie or show. If you see, for example, like the Mario movie, and you just could not stand Chris Pratt's voice in the Mario movie. It just did not sound like Mario. It did not do it for you. You were completely distraught the whole time. That's completely valid. All film is subjective. There's nothing wrong with not liking a performance. But when you're already hating on the man before you've even seen a trailer, that's when it's just so annoying. Just a couple weeks ago, we saw this whole cycle repeating because Marvel announced that their Mr. Fantastic and the Marvel's big reboot of the Fantastic Four was going to be none other than the internet's daddy, aka Pedro Pascal. I personally thought this and the rest of the Fantastic Four casting was phenomenal. I couldn't have been more ecstatic of the choices they picked, but the internet did not agree with me. Now, come July 2025, when we've seen the movie, maybe we'll all walk out of it and be like, yeah, Pedro was the absolute worst pick they could have done. Why would they have picked Pedro Pascal to play Mr. Fantastic? That was horrible for the story they were trying to tell. I doubt that'll be what we were saying, but who knows? There was just not enough to go on right now to make an informed decision on whether that was a bad casting choice or not. A common theme for the hate is that Pedro Pascal doesn't look like Reed Richards, and that always confuses me when people say he doesn't look like a character. Because what the hell does Reed Richards look like? Not even Reed fucking Richards knows. It's like, doesn't look the same here, doesn't look the same here, nor here, definitely not this one. There is no look like Reed Richards because there isn't a definitive Reed Richards. You may have your favorite Reed Richards, and that's completely fine, but that doesn't make it the definitive Reed Richards. The only thing all these Reeds share in common is that they are a middle-aged man. That is the only through line most of the time. Now I'm going to turn this question over to Google to answer this one for me. Is Pedro Pascal a middle-aged man?
On the website Deseret.com, they say, Pedro Pascal, they answer. You leave your teen's room, more confused than ever. After doing some light research, you discover that Pascal is a 47-year-old actor from Chile.
Stop.
Recently,
Hey, no.
the wildly
fuck.
popular HBO.
Hey, Google, stop.
To find out more,
No.
look.
Thank you. Okay. I don't know what it was going on about, like, you're in your teenager's room or something. I don't know what the fuck that was about, but he's 47. We got that at the end there. And you know what that means to me? Congrats, Marvel. Hell yeah. You fucking nailed the casting. Great job on this one, bro. You nailed it. Now, if you just don't like Pedro Pascal, that's completely fine. Maybe you didn't like The Last of Us, or you didn't like The Mandalorian, you just don't like most of the projects he's in, maybe you just don't like him as a performer, he just doesn't do it for you. That's completely valid. It's all subjective. But I'd argue that most people really like Pedro Pascal. He is a very popular celebrity right now, and 90% of the dumbasses are just complaining that he doesn't look like Reed Richards, and what the fuck does that even mean? A bit ago, we got a whole bunch of Last of Us Season 2 casting, and they casted Abby. Now, we all knew that whoever was going to play Abby was going to get a shit ton of hate because Abby's Abby, and to avoid spoilers, Abby's a really good golfer. They could cast your own fucking mother, and you'd still spit on her calling it the worst casting decision of all time, you sick animal. However, they didn't pick your mother, or maybe they did. I don't know if she has kids, maybe she does, but they picked the actress Kaitlyn Dever, and oh boy.
She didn't have to cut me off. I can never know we were nothing. I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger, and I feel so loved.
I love the internet. Now, for starters, Kaitlyn Dever is a super talented actress with a fantastic career ahead of her. I mean, have you seen Booksmart or No One Will Save You? Those are fantastic. Go watch those. She's amazing. She can totally carry her weight in her role. However, that is not good enough for the people of Twitter because, you know, why isn't she buff? Why isn't she taller? Why is it not Brie Larson or Florence Pugh? Why are my Dreamcasts not coming true? God! I feel people need to learn what adaptation means. They're not just taking that Abby and that story of The Last of Us and one for one bringing it into a new light, completely copying it scene for scene. Arguably, the best parts of the first season were when they made big changes, like with the Bill and Frank episode or making Sam deaf. Abby's fucking watermelons of arms in the games had very little to actually tie into the story. They were there to create a dichotomy. I think I'm using that word right. I'm trying to sound smart. They were there to create a dichotomy of gameplay differences. I don't think it was there to create different gameplay pretty much between the two characters and keep it feeling fresh for the 24-hour long game. You had Ellie, who was smaller, quicker, more nimble. She had the perma knife that she could use to constantly go around and stealth kill everyone. And then you switch over to Abby halfway through and she's got these fucking watermelons on her arms and she can go around and beat the shit out of people with her bare fists, and it's all brute force, go in, raw, no rubber action on her side. It keeps it feeling fresh for the whole 20 hours or however long it took you to beat the game. In a show, you don't need gameplay to feel fresh for 20 plus hours because you're not fucking playing a show. What you need is a realistic threat to Ellie, who is played by Bella Ramsey. They could have hired some 6'3" female bodybuilder to portray Abby because it looked closer to the original. But then guess what happens when Abby and Ellie fight? Ellie is gonna get slapped the fuck around after Abby just elbow drops Ellie. Kaitlyn and Bella are relatively similar in like height and size, so it can actually feel like a real fight when they go toe to toe in the show, and it can actually keep you on the edge of your seat. Then, oh, here's fucking Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson coming around to beat the shit out of Bella Ramsey. Who's gonna win? This casting has a fantastic chance to be a great adaptation of Abby for The Last of Us Season 2. We may look back in 2025 and go, man, that was a horrible casting for Abby. Why did they go with Kaitlyn? But I doubt it. Now, every now and then, the haters end up being right. You hate to see it, but it's true. Nathan Drake and Sully come to mind. Wait, no, not those Nathan Drake and Sully. Those Nathan Drake and Sully. Yeah, those ones. Ugh. People hated this casting before the movie came out. They hated it, which was weird to me because I actually thought it was pretty good casting before I saw the movie. I didn't think it was a horrible casting if you're trying to go for a younger Nathan Drake and a younger Sully. I thought they could actually bring something to that. If the movie was better, I could totally see a world where this is a beloved casting of a fantastic adaptation. However, we live in a world where Mark Wahlberg was not trying to play Sully, he was trying to play Mark Wahlberg, and Tom Holland was not trying to play Nathan Drake, he was trying to play Spider-Man without the Peter tingle. My point is, this necessarily wasn't bad casting. Both these performers can bring a great performance to the table when they actually try. However, this was just a bad movie. I knew it was going to be a bad movie when they didn't have Elena in it. You know, like the grounding force that kept Nathan Drake tied down on the tracks for the course of the 4 games. Yeah, who the fuck needs her in the movie, am I right? When you have a bad movie that's so uninspired, you get uninspired acting. Bad casting in this case would not have been Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. Bad casting would have been if they came out and said, you know what, fuck it, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for Nathan Drake and Kevin Hart as Sully. The main rule in casting is and always should be, are they a good performer? If the answer to this is yes, you're on the right track. Even if you don't like Pedro Pascal, he is currently running from award show to award show to award show to award show, so there's no denying the fact that he is a fantastic and popular performer, even if you personally do not like him. Hugh Jackman, Robert Downey Jr., Heath Ledger, all critically acclaimed, multi-award nominated, multi-award winning actors that completely earned their role. Could you imagine a world where Tom Cruise, who's a fantastic performer, don't get me wrong, but where Tom Cruise is playing Iron Man because he looked more like Iron Man, whatever the fuck that means? Yeah, you probably could have walked around the streets and found someone who looked exactly like Ellie from the video game, but then you wouldn't have gotten Bella's 100% spot-on performance. Which, I just need to make a little side note. People were shitting on Bella the whole time for her casting as Ellie. Completely ate those words back up once she actually showed them what she could do. And now they're re-spitting them back out because how could she play Ellie in season 2? She's too young. When she's the same age as Ellie in season 2. Oh my god, dude. People, learn your lesson. We all want more creative films from Hollywood, but yet anytime Hollywood leans in a creative way at all and changes any little thing, every film fan gathers around to complain that they aren't just copying the original. However, when they do just copy the original and put our favorite scenes from the game or comic book onto the movie theater projector, we complain that they're not adapting or changing anything and they're just blandly copying the original. You cannot have it both ways. Let people adapt and change things for the better, other than just preying on your love for a previous iteration of a story. Let creative people be creative and keep your mind open until you've actually seen the adaptation, and you might just get another beloved interpretation of the story. Yeah, that's a good ending.
You didn't have to cut